Hello from Bastrop, Texas. I am on the road from Austin to Houston for my second part of my Texas trip. I just did Texas Hill Country, and this is my spring break. So it's March. It's really nice out, and I don't have a whole lot to do today. I have 77 miles, but they're really flat, and I have a tailwind, so hopefully I'll have a tailwind later. But I wasn't really in a rush to get on the road today. You can kind of tell I just woke up and I thought I would do a video on my jetboil since I get questions about my stove a lot. And this is just what I use. There are a lot of stoves out there. There are definitely stoves that if you're going into the backcountry or places that you can't buy little propane canisters, then you might want to look at other types of stoves. There are cheaper stoves for sure. This is just what I happen to use right now, and I really like it. So I'm just gonna give you an overview of the jetboil. So it does use these little propane canisters. This one was $6, and you can get a bigger one for like $8 and then a really big one for like $12. So proportionally, it's a better buy if you buy a bigger one. But what I like about the small ones, especially for a short trip like the one I'm on, and I can't take it with me on the airplane. So you have to get these at REI or sometimes gas stations have them, but where I've been lately, I had to go to a outdoor sports store to buy these. What I like about the small size is it fits right inside the jetboil, and then the stove portion fits right on there. And so it packs up into its own little thing, and that I really like. I had a cover for this and it was plastic and actually cracked it, but it's fine. This is just like the coils that work with the stove. So I'm gonna put it together just to demonstrate. I was really scared of these stoves when I started out, so I figured I'd do a video showing you it's not that bad. You're not gonna light yourself on fire, most likely. And this part just twists on. You have to line it up the dot with the groove. You twist it on. And this is the part that your propane will go onto. You just kind of have to get it lined up. And you just screw it on pretty fast. This one, for whatever reason, does seem to kind of a little bit. It's not a big deal, but I can kind of smell it. I should say, this knob was already turned all the way to the right. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I forgot to mention that part. But this knob should always be closed until you're ready to release the gas. You don't want to have the gas running when you're not cooking, obviously. So righty-tighty on that. And then I'm actually leaning my phone on my water. So 1 second. Hopefully that holds. So I add my water before I light the stove because I don't want to heat up the pot when it's empty because it gets really hot really fast, thus the name jetboil. So when you're ready to light it, and I like to keep the cover on just to save fuel, you turn left until you can hear a little bit of air releasing. Because of the wind, you probably can't hear it, but I can hear that the fuel is coming out. And then you can just press this little lighter button on the side and it is lit. I'm gonna try to see if you can see the flame in there. You can definitely hear it, and sometimes it's hard to see. I can see in there and I can see a little blue flame. So if you turn it more left, it will really get fired up. And your water will be boiling within seconds. So you don't want to leave this unattended. You want to stay near it. And what I like about it is that it saves a lot of fuel. I don't have to use a whole lot of fuel. With the jetboil, I'm usually just needing to boil water. I made tea just now. And this is a Sea to Summit cup, by the way. It folds flat. I really like this, and I use it in my regular life too. I just kind of keep it in my purse and always have a cup with me, which is nice. Anyway, the jetboil is nice because even though you do have to buy this specific fuel for it, the fuel will last a really long time. So depends on the food that you're making, of course, but since I'm just boiling water, this would probably last me a week. And also I'm just boiling water for myself because I'm on a solo trip. So there are stoves definitely better suited to group cooking. This one is really good for personal use. So that would be another kind of thing I would say about the jetboil. And again, one of the things that I like the most about it, especially with the smallest fuel canister, it just packs up just like that. And the canisters do have these little caps. If you lose it, it's not the end of the world, but it's just nice to have. So I try to keep mine on there just to keep it nice and clean. And then your canister will not have corrosion if you're storing it. Like I said, I can't take this with me. I flew out here from South Carolina, so I'm just gonna leave this with a warm showers host or pass it on to somebody I might see or know in Houston who might go camping, because I cannot fly with it. So that's something just to keep in mind as well. Where are you gonna get your fuel, since you can't take it on a plane? If you're starting from home or you're driving or on a train, I guess you could bring it with you. So just a logistics thing there. That's pretty much, I guess, what I have to say about the jetboil. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have a stove that you really like that you think I should try, let me know. I'm always looking at new gear. And just to show how I do a typical breakfast, I like to make my own oatmeal using quick cook oats, dried fruit, brown sugar, cinnamon. You really can throw in whatever you want, and I just kind of eyeball it, and it usually turns out really good. These silicone bags with the sliding bar top are great for holding the oatmeal and the sugar. And then I've got instant coffee and condiments and things in little regular reusable Ziploc bags. And once I pour the water into my oatmeal, I like to stir in a little Nutella, and it just tastes really good.